Today's issue of Time magazine calls loneliness a mental health emergency. It has become a global epidemic, according to the U.S. Surgeon General, Dr. Vivek Murthy. Loneliness does not mean being alone in a physical space. It means feeling unseen, unheard, undervalued, misunderstood. It means feeling emotionally disconnected from other people. And that is exactly why I am writing a book on loneliness to help people understand what loneliness is and isn't. Loneliness is different from social isolation because, as I mentioned, we can feel lonely around other people. And loneliness is different from solitude. Solitude is typically an example of a self-care practice where we choose to spend some time alone to recharge, whereas loneliness is feeling like other people don't understand or support us, don't see us, or perhaps don't validate us. So my hope with this book is to help people to understand that they're not alone in feeling lonely, to reduce stigma about loneliness, to talk about loneliness the same way we're starting to talk about depression, and also no different than the way we talk about things like cancer, for example. It is not your fault if you're struggling with loneliness. It is something millions of people are going through. The current US statistics are suggesting that about 20% of people, 1 in every 5 people, experiences loneliness, and that for teenagers, that number is actually higher. That number is closer to 36%. So young people are at a much higher risk for experiencing loneliness. We need to understand what loneliness is, how damaging it is, and also what we can do to combat it. The first step to combating loneliness is to name it. Just being able to say, I feel lonely, can allow us to reduce some of the stigma and shame that's associated with it and can allow us to know our need. The second step is to look for some form of connection, which could be to reach out to a friend, a loved one, but it could also mean spending time with a pet, going outside. It could mean developing an emotional connection with yourself, such as by writing poetry, reading, maybe coloring, for example, journaling, reflecting on your feelings. Whatever you're going through, please know that you're not alone.